to have a Filipino story, a Filipino family front and center. This is unlike anything I've ever seen in my career, how everything, all the stars aligned, literally and figuratively.
Benny Adams here, and I have a very special guest with me. We're talking all about this new film called Easter Sunday. I have the wonderful and talented Tia Carrere. How's it going? Thank you so much.
Very well.
I've been hearing so many good things about this film. So many people are praising it who have been able to see it early. What was it like shooting this film, first off?
Well, I'm glad that you've been hearing good stuff because it's so hard when you're in a film and you know all the jokes and you know all the gags and you go to like a cast and crew screening and everybody's silent because they're watching their work in it. So there's no cheers or claps or laughs. It's kind of disconcerting. The same thing happened with Wayne's World. So I'm glad that I'll get to see it with an audience on Tuesday. But being a part of it was a very strange time because we were all still in lockdown, and we were isolating with our families, with our little pods. And we went to a foreign country where I had to stay in our apartments for 2 weeks. And our first hello face to face, our first hug, our first, hanging out and having a meal was with the cast of Easter Sunday. We were a bubble. So we immediately became tight. We were a family in essence, because these were the first people that we saw outside of our own home walls in a year and a half. It really made it very special, I think, for all of us.
That's pretty cool, and I'm sure that's an experience in itself, filming during COVID. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Can you talk about your character and what your character is about in this film?
Okay, so the backstory is like Joe is not unlike himself, an actor, a comic coming back home, successful to his people in his neighborhood, and guilted by his family, his very dysfunctional family. And I'm part of the dysfunction. He comes back and there's a full-on war between his mom and myself, who is his mom's sister. So the auntie and his mom are in all-out war, and he's caught in the middle, and chaos and mayhem ensue.
And I watched the trailer. Freaking hilarious. Jo Koy, freaking hilarious. What was it like working with him?
Well, what's great is so we had this one scene that we shot in the church that we had to do a number of different times, different angles. But when you're just doing it with an actor, they'll say the lines this pretty much the same way, pretty much the same content. But because he's a stand-up comic, he just couldn't stand to leave it just as it was written, because he wanted the people in the audience to laugh. His instinct is to make people laugh. So we were dying. Oh, he was just like going off and riffing stuff that wasn't in the script. And the whole audience like stood up and cheered at the end of, when we shot that scene that day, because it's like we saw a stand-up, performance. It had nothing to do with the script. No, we had some of the lines from the script, but it was that and so much more.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about Jo Koy. Like he seems like just a very smart man. He seems like he knows what the audience wants. And I remember reading an article where it said that this film was actually supposed to be on Netflix, but then he said, no, this needs to be out in theaters. I thought that was so cool.
And the fact that Steven Spielberg agreed and had the might to put it on a big screen. I mean, everything came together. So it was like serendipity. It's really, I think Crazy Rich Asians opened the door. And then now to have a Filipino story, a Filipino family front and center. This is unlike anything I've ever seen in my career, how everything, all the stars aligned, literally and figuratively.
That's so amazing. And you also got to work with Tiffany Haddish. How hard was it to keep a straight face while working with her?
Well, I mean, he was mostly working with her, Joe. So they were like riffing on, I mean, we were trying to offset. Listening to them riff was the hardest thing because we had to be quiet. We're like, because they would just go off on each other, like her email and stuff. I think that was improvised. It was So funny. I just love working with funny people. It's such a gift to go to work every day and laugh your fool head off, you know?
Right. You can't go wrong with that, you know?
No.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, this film I've been hearing has been getting like really good reviews. Any chance that there could be a sequel?
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears. That's why I'm telling every Filipino I know, every person I know, please go see this movie next Friday, August 5th, because I want to do a second one in Manila or Honolulu. Just saying,
Hey,
putting it out into the, the atmosphere and the universe.
exactly. Hey, we're both gonna do it. Let's put it out into the universe. It's
Yep.
gonna happen. And I'm gonna be talking to you again, and I'm gonna be like, remember
The
when we
junket
put
in
it out into the
Hawaii.
universe? So, what do you want people to get out of this film after they're done watching this?
I want them to recognize themselves up on the screen and know that their stories can be told. When I came up in this business, there was nobody on screen that looked like me. It was very hard for me to fit into many different things. There were so many different projects that I went in for, and they said, well, we weren't thinking of going ethnic with that role. You did a great job in the audition, but we weren't thinking of going exotic with that role. It's like, wow, it's the 20th century, and most of America looks like me, but your TV show on network TV couldn't see me in any other way than a China doll in a tea shop, or a Viet Cong terrorist out in the rice paddies. And so we've come a long way, baby. And the fact that we're opening wide 3,500 screens across America in a movie theater movie is incredible. So I want people to carry that with pride. And I also want people that aren't of the same ethnic background to go, you know what? We're more alike than we're different. Our families are just as messed up and hilarious, and we still love them. There's nothing wrong with my crazy aunt. She's just as crazy as his aunt or your aunt or their aunt.
Yeah, and I'm sure people are going to fall in love with this movie when they go and watch it. And like you said, I think it's amazing that we're now in this time frame where we are seeing more minorities get represented on the big screen. So I think that's really cool. And this movie is a
Because we
step.
are the majority. I mean, check the statistics. We are the majority. More people in America look like you and me than what was originally, accepted as the all American look. We are all American, so it's great to see.
Facts on facts, Tia. Facts on facts.
Preach.
Is there anything else you're working on that you want your fans to know about?
Well, it's funny. Like I said, this is all very serendipitous. I also have a song that's up for a Grammy. I have 2 Grammys up behind me. I'm pushing for a third in best global performance, global music. My music partner, Daniel Ho, and I did this song also during the pandemic. So it was very hard working together, like remotely. But it's sung in 5 different languages. And I sing in English and in Tagalog. I just happened to say, hey, what about, he was saying, well, we're going to have it in, Chinese and Japanese and Hawaiian and English. I said, what about Filipino? Can I sing in Tagalog? And he's like, that's a great idea. Because it was for an LA cultural kind of celebration. So it's about, cultural unity and joyfulness. It's called Colors in Harmony. And so fingers crossed, we're submitting it for Grammy voting in Best Global Performance. And I think there's another one for like Social Unity or something, which would be really nice, because I think we need to come together and celebrate all of our cultures and accept all of us as all American.
Tia, that is awesome. I did not know that. That's so cool. And you said the song is called Come Together?
Colors in Harmony.
Colors in Harmony.
Colors
in
Harmony. Yep.
All right. Well, all of you watching, you heard that. Go check. Is it on YouTube? Can they listen to it on YouTube, Spotify?
I think it's on YouTube. It's on iTunes, Apple Music. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, you guys go and check that out. I'm sure it's an amazing song. Tia, thank you so much for coming on, talking with me. Can you give your fans your social media so they can follow you and stay up to date on what you're doing?
At Tia Carrere on Facebook, at Tia Carrere on Instagram and Twitter. I have the blue check mark, so you know it's me.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and tuning in. And Tia, thank you again. And I'm Benny Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J Adams. And I will see you guys later.
Salamat!